791,286,033 Supplementary Appropriation Bill to the National Assembly earlier this week. The House has sent the bill to the Appropriation Committee for further deliberation and considerations. The bill has been specifically structured to improve the country's security, food security, and critical road infrastructure and bridge the housing deficit in the country, including the slum upgrade and urban renewal. It will also support the provisional wage to workers and cash transfers to vulnerable Nigerians. It will also cater the upcoming election in Kogi, Bayelsa and Imo States. The summary is as follows. Ministry of Defense, 476 billion, 543 million, 847,421. Police formation and command, 50 billion. Federal Capital Territory, 100 billion. Office of the National Security Advisor, 29 billion, 700 million, 606 million, 916. State House, 28 billion. Federal Ministry of Works, 300 billion naira. Federal Ministry of Agric and Food Security, 200 billion naira. Ministry of Housing, 100 billion naira. Service-wide board, 615 billion naira. While capital supplementation, 210 billion, 500 million naira. Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, 18 billion naira. The total is 2,176,791,286,033. We have invited the rebel MDS to defend their submissions, to shed more light for their submission, and will report back to the House whether we are convinced with their submissions or we have another observations. So I think we are going to do this session in two segments. First, we are going to take non-security. We are going to do publicly. Then we'll take security one. It's going to be under executive sessions because of the nature of the sensitivity of the security.
When I resumed, we had a net a deficit of 6 trillion. And some of these ongoing projects are, interwoven with some critical new projects that we want to add, and there's some projects that have been abandoned in the past 20 years. So Mr. President directed that we should bring all of them on board, and that is going to cost, about 11 trillion. So on the whole, to address our road sector for the next 4 years, we'll be needing about 18.6 trillion. And so the National Assembly must have to, weigh a thinking cap on how we can address seriously our road sector.
Of course, there are infrastructure needed, which is ongoing before I came, or was abandoned before I came. But these infrastructures are needed to be completed now that we have the dry season coming. Take off, for example, B6, B12. When I came on board, I have to make these contractors, Nigerians, Bayelsa, Central, and all of them, to go back. I would believe that before we enter the season next year, this infrastructure roads would have been completed. Again, talk about the completion of rehabilitation and take-off Abuja rail project. You'll agree with me that this one project that Mr. President takes so important and which would help in decongesting our traffic situation. I've been there as I came on board, and Mr. President directed the day the Nigerian Bar Association held the annual conference that he wants to ride on this metro line, at least in his 1 year in office, and which is a major, if we can achieve it, and which we think with your support, we are going to achieve it.
I've had my minister's request. We met and discussed on the supplementary budget together. Our request was 300 and something billion, but the President approved 100 billion to FCT. Honourable Minister, I had a discussion with the Chairman of Appropriations this morning with the supplementary issue, but he told me if our request could not meet up in the supplementary, in the main budget 2024 appropriation, we are going to sit and look at FCT's request. Because you are coming today as FCT Minister, a lot of people have seen FCT is changing. Roles in FCT is now different with FCT that we know. You assured us in the last meeting we had together that by March, April next year, we are going to see a lot of things in FCT. Before, in FCT, everybody believes FCT is only land. But in your time, you said it's not land. Let's develop FCT first so that we leave legacies by 4 years. Thank you.
Conducted by elections. There is no budgetary provision for the conduct of these unforeseen and unbudgeted by elections. Honorable Chairman, honorable members, not many people in Nigeria will believe that within 4 months after the inauguration of the National and State Assemblies, 11 vacancies have occurred. 11 by-elections in 4 months. Unfortunately, the majority coming from the House of Representatives. There are 5 vacancies in the House of Representatives, 2 caused by death and 3 caused by resignation of honorable members. We have vacancies in 4 state constituencies across the country, and we have vacancies in 2 senatorial districts. And each time we conduct 3 senatorial by-elections, it's like conducting a governorship election, because each state in Nigeria has only 3 senatorial districts. So we have to make provision for the conduct of by-elections in 11 constituencies, 5 federal constituencies, 4 state constituencies, and 2 senatorial districts. And for that, we have made a provision for 1.6 billion. So this is in summary our breakdown for the 18 billion for personnel emoluments and overhead, for augmentation for the conduct of the 3 off-cycle governorship elections, and for the conduct of 11 by-elections, hoping that and praying hard that there will be no by-elections again, so that we just confine ourselves to the 11 that occurred.